All right, you are looking live. It's sold out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why are the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. They got smoked in the first round of the playoffs. They went 10-1 and they blew it. They wound up getting smoked in the first round of the playoffs. The Philadelphia Eagles suck. Welcome to the Gridiron, man. I love that part. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all is going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Everybody's going to spend time watching the replay this once again. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away, throw it in the chat box. Usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free and fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level I got is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one has their own little perks to it. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Thank you all. And then finally, also, a little ways down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one's a Facebook link, which I'll go over in just a second. The one underneath it, I'm an old-time fart. I hate change, right? I'm one of those get off my lawn kind of guys, right? It's a Twitter link. It's always been Twitter to me. It's always be Twitter. It's Twitter today, Twitter tomorrow. It'll be Twitter 3 trillion years from now when I'm long gone. It's Twitter. Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it, that's on you, bro. I ain't calling it that. It's Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. That's an absolute promise. I put Giants-related information in my Twitter account every day. And then the link just above it takes you to my Facebook group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. It's a Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. We're over 7,800 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous. Basically, I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. And not only do I put stuff in this group every day, but members post stuff in there as well. So between me and the members, there's a boatload of Giants information going in this group every day. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's a Facebook group. Please join it. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. Well, I'll tell you what, man, things are moving. We're still going to need apparently after today, tight ends coach. But we'll go over that in a little bit. But it just kind of goes to show you like how like Harbaugh is kind of like, sneaking around. I mean, he's coming in, there's like whatever you want to call it. There's a new sheriff in town. He's got his work cut out for him if he's going to go up against the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, he's got a quarterback, right? He's getting paid big bucks, this, that, and the other things. But he's going to surround himself, Harbaugh with good coaches. And so he's taking Andy Bischoff, right? So we're going to need a tight ends coach. So I'll go over this in a bit. But, what he's doing is basically so it's not like a lateral move. He's not picking the phone up. Yeah, I want your tight ends coach to come over here and be my tight ends coach. That's because then the Giants might nix that. But so what you do, right, is you just tight ends coach, and I'm going to throw something else on the back end of it. So it'll be like a little bit of a promotion for him. So it's a promotion. It's not a lateral move. So Harbaugh is going out, and he's bringing in good coaches. So it looks like we're going to need somebody to replace Andy Bischoff. So that'll be the third portion of my segment. But the first portion, and the thing I just can't stand about this is that, and I absolutely just hate it. And once again, it seems like it's all about the money. I mean, it's it's like all about the money. And the more it's about the money, the less I absolutely despise, things. The World Cup is coming, 2026, right? So we got a couple years, right? And then the World Cup will be here in the summertime. So it'll be before the beginning of the 2026 season. So, so with MetLife Stadium, of course, once again, it's all about the money. Let's get the World Cup in here. And I think the final, if I read this thing correctly, I read an article here, they're going to have the finals in there. But in order to get the World Cup in there, of course, that's to help make some money. Well, oh my goodness gracious, we got to change over the grass. Hey, McGee, let's change over the grass. Hey, McGee, so we can make some money, right? But then it's not going to stay that way. So the only way they can get the World Cup, that's got to be on grass. Good for them. Good for you, World Cup. If you want us, you better put some grass in there, right? So, of course, I'm like, we want to make some money, so we got to change the grass. But then, of course, once the World Cup's over, they take the grass and it's gone. And to save some money, because they're, once again, it's all about the money, the grass will be gone and the turf will be back. And, it's once again, I'm sure it's just to save some money. So the one thing is put grass in so we can make some money. But then once we made the money, let's get rid of it so we can save some money. It's all about the money. And once again, as I said, the more it's about the money, the absolute, I just can't stand it. Absolutely cannot stand it. There's a report that I'm going to read that basically they're kind of showing like the way the turf is and all that stuff and everything. There's a just this one report. It's all I have to go by. There's a very minimal difference as far as like injuries, lower body injuries on grass and on turf. Very, very minimal. But if you ever talk to or listen to the players, there's a difference being on grass and whatever turf they got. There's like that. There used to be artificial turf and this and that. Now there's 972 different types of turf. Field turf, this turf, that turf, but there's 9 trillion different types of turf nowadays. But if you ever listen to the, some of the players talk and all, their bodies can, now whether they get injured or not, whatever, they can feel it playing on turf and then going playing on grass. Their bodies, their knees, whatever, can tell the difference. Now, as I said, whether they get injured or not, but just from stuff I hear, and it's not talking to somebody from 1974, right? It wasn't like we talked to John Mendenhall in 1974 about, times when he played in Dallas Stadium and at the Vet and against the St. Louis Cardinals, and compared that to when he was playing at the Yale Bowl, or he played against the Redskins at RFK State. I mean, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about 50 years ago. I'm talking about very recently. You listen to some of these players, talking about, the difference. They can feel it. Their knees and all that. They can tell there's a difference. And, to me, grass, football is supposed to be played on grass, and but once again, as I said, it's, I'm sure it's just, it's probably more expensive to try to keep the grass than it is to, just throwing some turf in there and just it's like rolling out the carpet, get it in there, and we're good to go, right? We're ready to rock and roll, right? We don't have to worry about watering it, fertilizing it, and resodding it and all that. Don't worry about that, right? So once again, it's all about the money. Absolutely can't stand it. Let's see. Will the 2026 World Cup final be played on grass or turf? Ooh, MetLife Stadium surfaced a major topic for the FIFA match. The summer of 2026, the world's best players will converge in the New York City metro area to contest potentially the most watched football match in history. It might be. In an upset, it was revealed by FIFA in February of 2024 that MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, part of the New Jersey metro area, will be given the lucrative and historic honor of hosting the 2026 World Cup final. You better damn freaking right, it's an honor. Holy cow. Holy cow. It was widely reported for months in the lead up to the 2026 World Cup schedule that AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, would be selected to host the tournament final, beating both MetLife Stadium and SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles to the honor, but that was ultimately not the case. With this appointment, the venue playing service immediately became a major topic of conversation. MetLife Stadium currently sports a turf field that has often come under fire for a perception of heightened injury risk. The Sporting News brings you all the latest information. We got will the 2026 World Cup final be held on grass or turf? While MetLife Stadium has a permanent turf surface installed and in use for most events, they will have to make a change for the World Cup. Absolutely. It's because FIFA mandates World Cup matches to be played on grass. Ooh, what a concept. Grass, the way it's supposed to be. Therefore, the 2026 World Cup final and all 7 other matches played at the stadium throughout the tournament will be played on a natural grass surface. However, the questions and possible controversy do not simply end there. Many times in the recent past throughout the United States, stadiums with turf fields have attempted to install temporary grass surfaces on top of their turf in order to host individual soccer games to questionable results. According to Jonathan Tannenwald of the Philadelphia Inquirer, back in 2022, FIFA had teamed up with a professor at the University of Tennessee to research growing grass for various climates and stadium situations across the United States in the unique World Cup venues around the country. It's unclear whether FIFA will mandate stadiums install permanent grass surfaces that can be wheeled in and out of the venue as needed, an extremely expensive undertaking, or if they will concede that venues may install a temporary grass pitch. Back in 2019, the U.S. men's team Players Union spoke out against the decision to install a temporary grass pitch at the Field Club Cincinnati's Nippert Stadium, for a summer friendly against Venezuela, claiming the playing field constituted a substantially increased risk of injury and was a waste of 90 minutes. Venezuela won the game 3-0 on 3 first-half goals. So, the object is that, pretty much to get a permanent, grass field in there, right? It says, as of 2023 NFL season, MetLife Stadium features a field turf core playing surface for the NFL games and other events at the 82,500 seat venue. New York Giants owner John Mara made the change in turfs in the 2022-23 offseason after significant criticism from around the league regarding a perceived increased risk of injury presented by the field. The turf had been in place for 5 years, installed in the summer of 2017. Concerns about the injury risk at the MetLife Stadium field turf have circulated since the venue's inception. Opened in 2010 after a 3-year construction process, the turf at MetLife Stadium has often been the subject of criticism for its propensity for injury. Whether that propensity is real or simply perception is another topic, but the conversation has been consistent throughout the stadium's lifespan. Yes, it has. Absolutely, yes, it has. Now, there's an article I got here that says, it's a new NFLPA study reveals injury rate about the same on grass as on turf. NFL players everywhere might long for the day that artificial turf goes the way of the dinosaur, but right now it doesn't appear that day is coming anytime soon. Well, if the players would just, it could happen. They would have to, sit out or something, or, we're not playing on turf no more. You got to get some grass in there, bro. You know what I mean? That would change things, but that's not going to happen. It's kind of like, the thing like with, as I said, it's probably never going to happen. I mean, it's like with Peacock, right? Remember, now you have to pay like a little subscription to see like a playoff game. people go on there and they pay for Peacock so they can watch a playoff game, and then they cancel the subscription. It's unfortunately it's coming to that. It's going to wind up being probably, unfortunately, somewhere down along the line, the jack at the NFL or whatever will wind up making the Super Bowl like a pay-per-view event. Everybody's going to pitch in $49.95, and then the next year it'll be $59.95, and it'll be $69.95. Within like 10 years, it'll be like $199.95 to watch a Super Bowl. Hey, let's make some money off it. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, that's by the way it is. But I'm saying it's like with something like with Peacock. Usually you should just be able to turn your TV on. Right. This is the way it used to be back when I first started. It was free TV. Right. You turn it on. Right. You turn the TV on. There was no remote controls back then. And you put on, either NBC, CBS, or ABC. There was 3 channels. ABC had Monday Night Football, and you had NBC and CBS. They had the NFC and the AFC. That's the way it was. There was no pay-per-view, none of this effing bull crap that they have. But I'm saying, like with Peacock, right? If people want to, really show the displeasure, right, and all you got to do, and it would eliminate the problem. It would be gone. Totally eliminate the problem. All you got to do if you want to, eliminate the Peacock bullcrap where you got to wind up paying, a little fee, whatever it is, to see a playoff game. Nobody watches the game, but that's not going to happen. If it did happen, that would change things, but it's not going to happen. It's pretty tough to get whatever, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million people, whatever, that want to watch this one game. That many people, or maybe it wouldn't have to be where so much where obviously nobody watched it, but it's like all of a sudden if their ratings go down, it's like, man, we only had like 3.5 million people watch this playoff game. I wonder why. That would change things, but it's not going to happen. Unfortunately. I just hope that it doesn't want to get where like every from now on it's like all the playoff games will be on. You have to pay. The thing I can't stand that now it's like playoff games are on 315 is on Amazon, it's on Amazon Prime, it's on Apple, it's on Peacock, it's on NBC, it's on ABC, it's on CBS, it's on ESPN, it's on it. It's like, once again, the more it's about this, the more I absolutely can't stand it. Absolutely can't stand it. But let's see here. ESPN reported that a joint committee of NFL and NFLPA personnel did a study and found that the incidence of lower body injuries was about the same on turf fields as it was on grass fields during the 2023 season. The study found that the rate of injuries that occur in the lower extremities without contact from another player was just 0.001 percent higher per 100 plays on turf than on grass. Very, very minimal. Right. And of course, with such a small margin and any arguments by the players to win a permanent ban on turf fields now takes a back seat for now. But that's just one side of the opinion, as players around the league who subject their bodies to bouncing around on turf and grass fields argue that if they had their choice, they'd rather play on the more forgiving grass surface. Absolutely. But once again, it's about saving the money, right? Fortunately for them, that's not always practical due to costs. So, quadrillion. That's like with one with 352 zeros after it. The yearly quadrillion, thing that the NFL is, right? We don't want to spend a little bit of money to bring some grass in. That would cost us some money. Absolutely can't stand it. For example, in the Northeast, grass fields can turn into frozen tundras in the colder months, making the surface even harder than turf. Yeah, but for the most part, last time I checked, right? Let's see, Lambeau Field's pretty cold there, right? Yeah, pretty cold there, right? Yeah, it's that's grass, right? How about Soldier Field? That's last time I checked, that was grass too, right? That gets pretty cold in Chicago, right? Yeah, right. How about Cleveland? It gets cold there, right? Yeah. I mean, and in the case where teams share a venue, such as the MetLife Stadium, where the Giants and Jets play, or any other venue that hosts events other than football, a grass surface isn't cost-effective given the maintenance required to meet minimal playing surface requirements. I mean, the one problem there, is like with the Giants and the Jets, it's like 1 week you got the Giants, and the next week you got the Jets. Then you got the Giants, then you got the Jets. Then you might have a week off or something like that, but then you might have the Giants playing Sunday and then the Jets playing Monday night. So that's kind of where, like Soldier Field or Lambeau Field, where the Packers play. It's the Packers. Then they might take a week or two off, and then you know what I mean? So it does make it a little more difficult, obviously, when you have a venue that has, hosts two teams to it. So it is tough. But I mean, Philadelphia, I'll tell you what, man, I can't stand the Eagles, but that's a beautiful stadium. The grass, the both of them there. I can't remember the name of where the Phillies play. Beautiful stadium. Love the grass, the look at the inside of the stadium. Absolutely freaking beautiful. I love it. Absolutely love it. That's baseball. But like I said, I can't stand the Phillies and all that stuff. But let me tell you what, those two ballparks they got, 2 thumbs up. They did right. That's absolutely freaking beautiful. But I'm saying, is that the Eagles? It's a little bit south where it's not too. We're not talking 300-400 miles south of where MetLife Stadium's at. It's not too far. They got grass in there. But I'm saying, but the big thing is with the Giants and the Jets playing in the same place makes it very, very difficult. Plus, also what they were saying, MetLife Stadium, hosts a lot of different things. It's very, very difficult to get the grass in there, and they just try to keep it, in one piece. They did for one season, right? You had the Giants and the Jets shared Shea Stadium together. That's grass, right? And not only that, right? But you look at it like the Mets were in there, right? Because the Mets, they played in 75. They played toward the end of September, right? So in September, the Mets in 75, the Mets were playing in Shea Stadium. Let me see here. Let's look here. 1975, New York Jets. Let's see when they played. Well, they played the 21st and the 28th. Oh, wait. No. They played on the road, the 21st and 28th. Okay. So let's look at the Giants here. 1975, New York Giants. So the Jets played their first couple weeks on the road. The Giants, I know in 75, let's see here. They played, okay. They all played on the road because they didn't want to chew up the field with the Mets. So the Jets, let's see. The Jets, their first 2 weeks, September 21st and 28th, they were on the road. They played in Buffalo and they played in Kansas City. The Jets' first home game they played the New England Patriots on October 5th. The Mets didn't make the World Series that year. How had the Mets were in the World Series like they were in 1973? Had they made the World Series, they would have been playing in October. And possibly at Shea Stadium. So, but the way they had it, basically no football was played at Shea Stadium in September. And the Giants' first home game. So the Jets' first home game was Sunday, October 5th. Giants was Sunday, October 12th. They played the Cowboys. They lost 13-7. They were winning 7-6. And Morton throws an interception, and a few plays later, the Cowboys scored a touchdown, won it 13-7. But the Giants had the lead late in that game, and of course, a turnover blew it for them. That season was unbelievable. But so that's how they fixed that problem. There was no football played at Shea Stadium in 1975 in September, because the Mets were there. But after that, they worked it out how the Jets played, the Giants played. So, but they had two teams in Shea Stadium, right? In 1975, shared Shea Stadium, Giants and the Jets. But I mean, the field was like, it was the infield. I mean, you can see a lot of times it get windy. You look at me, I got a cloud of dust just blowing up all over. Sometimes you couldn't even see the players. Sometimes the wind would just blow the dirt up and everything. Guys would you'd like lose the guys. You'd be like seeing them 1 minute, and the next minute they'd be like gone because it'd be like a cloud of dust come up. Oh man, but that's what makes it so difficult nowadays. But as I say, I mean, you listen to the guys. They would much rather play on grass than on turf. Right? I mean, look at Lambeau Field. Lambeau Field in Green Bay has never, ever, ever, ever had artificial turf. Right? Maybe if there's ever a time, just maybe, where the Giants and Jets get different stadiums. Right? Maybe. Yeah, I don't know when, this MetLife Stadium's not that, well, it's a little old. I mean, 2010, right? So it'd be the 15th season, I guess, already? Wow. But you figure, if there's ever a point in time where the Giants and Jets get separate stadiums, just maybe there might be a chance where we get back to good old grass, the way football's supposed to be. But as I said, if you ever talk to the players, they would much rather play on grass than on turf. But it will be nice to see, at least for the World Cup anyway, there will be grass. As I said, now whether it's going to wind up being that somehow they're going to need to get something. They could just put a temporary grass surface on top of the turf field, or they're going to need to get something in there more permanent. I'll have to wait and see. But it is a heck of an honor. The World Cup final for the 2026 World Cup is going to be, well, I'm in South Jersey, so it'll be up in North Jersey. So that's a heck of an honor. Let me tell you what. All right, so now the Giants, okay, they got themselves a defensive coordinator. I was kind of thinking that they were kind of waiting. It just seemed like they were interviewing guys, and like nothing was happening. Then over the past week they interviewed somebody from the Vikings, and it's like really not. They just an interview here and one interview they had Wilson in for 2 times, I think it was, but nobody else came in for. Well, we're going to interview you. And, we had like 312 different people they interviewed. It was like, what's going on? What are we doing? And when are we going to fill, she's like, be patient. So it seemed like to me like they were waiting maybe for the Super Bowl to get over. Because they talked to somebody on the Chiefs, and it would kind of maybe, I'm thinking maybe they want him. Maybe they're going to wait for the Super Bowl to be over and then pounce on the Chiefs. But that's not the case. They pulled the trigger. Took them a while. I mean, because they talked to all these guys over the past couple of weeks, but finally they wind up pulling the trigger, and they got their new defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen, as a new defensive coordinator after a long search. Now I'm not sure. I mean. It kind of makes you think a little bit, scratch your head. It's like, this was the guy. Why did you just, okay, why did you talk to him? Yeah, we'll get back to you. Yeah. We're going to interview like 37 other people. So it's a nice. I'm not over the moon over it by any stretch of imagination. Okay. Just kind of makes you wonder why, if they were, they really wanted to get this guy, well, why didn't they just hire him right away? Why are we waiting so long? But it was not a race for Brian Daboll. He wanted to take his time and talk to several candidates before making a decision regarding the most important position on his Giants coaching staff. He conducted his interviews and on Monday hired Shane Bowen, who was the most experienced of the 8 known candidates Daboll interviewed, with 3 years in the NFL as a defensive coordinator with the Titans. So, Bowen, he's only 37. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty impressive. He was available when Mike Vrabel and his assistants were dismissed after the Titans finished the past season with a record of 6-11 in last place in the NFC South. This is a critical hire for Dable as he enters his third year with the Giants. He was smash hit in 2022. I'm not going to bother reading it. Let's see here. I'll tell you what. There's this one picture here. He looks like Fitzmagic, the quarterback. He's got that beard and all that. He looks just like Ryan Fitzpatrick. Let's see here. In addition to his 8 known interviews, it is believed Dable spoke with more individuals than that for the job. So he talked to a whole lot of people. Dable wanted to make sure that the fit was exactly right. Martindale was a productive coordinator on the field, but the fit within Dable's staff left plenty to be desired, resulting in a parting of the ways after he cursed out Dable. Let's see. It also seems apparent Dable was not fixated on bringing in a new defensive coordinator, as he is a big believer in staying true to the interview process and seeing where it leads him. So, like Martindale, Bowen had never worked with Dable before coming to the Giants. Bowen played linebacker at Georgia Tech and got his coaching career starting in 2012 at Ohio State. His first NFL job was 2016 with the Texans. Bowen moved to the Titans in 2018, and he was with Vrabel the whole time. And he became the defensive coordinator in 2021. This past season, the Titans were 18th in the league in total defense, 13th against the run, 18th in the pass. Now, let's not forget. I mean, it's not an unbelievably star-studded defensive team. Okay, let's see here. And they did not get a lot of turnovers. They were one of the worst as far as getting turnovers this past season. So let's keep that in mind. As where the Giants were, I think, tied for second or something. The Titans were like tied for second worst. Their second fewest turnovers created. Titans were first in red zone defense and goal-to-goal defense. 2022, the Titans under Bowen were first in the league in run defense and last in the league in pass defense. But in 2022, the Titans had a ton of injuries. They had a lot of injuries. They led the league by far in man games lost due to injuries. So, Bowen met with the Jaguars in addition to interviewing with Dable. It is likely Dable will allow Bowen to suggest assistants to fill roles on the defensive staff with outside linebackers coach, currently a vacant position. Now, if I didn't get rid of this here. Yep. Yeah. See, Giants have begun lining up talks with Titan staffers who worked underneath him. Let's see. Did I get this here? Here we go. I almost lost this. Ryan Crow, who coached the Titans outside linebackers since 2021 and was on Mike Vrabel's staff for all 6 years. Okay, Crow. This is the guy I was thinking. He was with Mike Vrabel for all 6 years, has been let go by the team. Their outside linebacker coach. Okay. So he's been let go. So there's a possibility that Ryan Crow will maybe be hired by the Giants to be their new outside linebacker coach since we let the brothers Wilkins go bye-bye. Right. So that's a possibility. Let's see here. Denard Wilson, obviously, he was high on the list. The Ravens defensive back coach interviewed twice with Dable, but was hired by the Titans. He went to the Titans. We took the Titans coach. So Wilson and the Titans general manager, Ran Carthon, are extremely close. Yeah. Wilson has ties to Ran Carthon, or not ties, but they've worked together before. So that's a good possibility while Wilson might have gone to the Titans with Ran, that familiarity, That's not always, written in stone. Well, I'm familiar with this guy. I like that. But a lot of times that's the draw. If you have some familiarity with the GM or the coach or whatever, that you're familiar, you're comfortable with them. that's a good draw sometimes. Right. Bob Babich, the Bills linebacker coach, had past experience with Dable, but was promoted to their defensive coordinator in Buffalo. So that kind of wiped Bob Babich out. Dable also spoke with Brendan Daly, the Chiefs linebacker coach. He would not have been available to be hired until after the Super Bowl. So that's who I thought maybe they were kind of waiting on was Brendan Daly, because it's like, I'll tell you what, the Chiefs defense was very impressive this season. He was their linebacker coach, and I was kind of, we're going to take our time. And I mean, I thought, all right, well, what are we waiting? Well, maybe we're waiting for the Super Bowl to get over. Maybe we're waiting for, the Chiefs season to end, and then maybe we can go in there and strike and get Brandon Daly. But that was not the case. Two former NFL defensive coordinators, Bowen and Derek Ansley of the Chargers, also met with Dable as the Dolphins linebacker coach, Anthony Campanile. Giants defensive back coach Jerome Henderson was the only other in-house candidate. And I thought maybe they would wind up, bringing him in, but it is what it is. But I mean, if you look, let's see, they're very middle of the pack, right? But also, a lot of things kind of go hand in hand here too. All right, once it's a theory of relativity. Things all relative, right? The Titans did not have the greatest offense in the world, right? If you got a good offense and you're on the field, right, and you're handing the ball off and the clock's running, you're dropping back, complete passes, clock's running, and you're going down the field, first down, the clock's running and running and running and running, and your defense is on the sideline drinking Kool-Aid, and your offense is still on the field, running and throwing and completing and this and moving down. They score a touchdown. Then they get the ball back again and they mark down the field. But I mean, the theory of relative, everything's all relative, right? How good is your defense? Well, it looks pretty good when they're on the sideline. I mean, if I'm on the sideline, if you had 11 of me on defense and I never made it on the field, I'm going to look pretty good. I'll tell you what, that guy Jeff Wicks, he's 59 years old, but let me tell you what. That guy's a heck of a defensive player. I mean, they got 11 of them on the Giants defense. 11 Jeff Wicks is out there. All 11 of them are 59 years old. They may be one of the greatest defenses of all time. He hasn't given up any points yet. What defense? Well, it's. But when you go out there, your offense is 1, 2, 3 plays and you punt, and you give them the ball back, and your defense is on the field. Keeps running onto the field, after a while, you're going to get tired and you're going to look pretty, you're going to give up some yards, you're going to give up some points. But if you look, comparatively speaking, I mean, the Giants had some players on defense, right? Right? Kayvon, Sexy Dexy, Karakay, right? Banks, Adoree Jackson, McKinley, I mean, we had some players on defense, right? Some good players. But if you look at some of these stats here, okay, without question, the Titans, their defense wound up being more effective than the Giants. Let's see. Total yards given up. Let's see here. The Titans were 18th, 5,697 yards. They were 18th, right about in the middle. Very, very mediocre. Nothing super spectacular, okay? However, once again, they didn't have a great offense. They didn't have a great year, but the Giants gave up 61-49, 57, 400. Okay, Giants gave up 450 more yards. Okay. Yards per play. Tennessee Titans. Let's see, go this way here. Tennessee Titans, once again. Oh, I just saw them. Over there. Oh, okay. 5.2. There was a bunch of teams that had 5.2. So they're like tied for 12th at 5.2. They're tied for 12th with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with 5 teams. You know what I mean? So 5.2 yards per play. Okay. The Giants, with all the firepower they had, the good players they had, this, that, and everything, the Giants with 5.6. Okay. The one place where the Giants did dominate, okay, compared to the Titans, was turnovers. The Giants the Giants were tied for first. The Giants were in second, tied for second. Giants were tied for The Ravens had 31 turnovers on defense, and the Giants had 31. The Titans only had 14. Titans did not have a banner year as far as creating turnovers, which really hurt. But you also look at it too, is just going to show you how kind of maybe bad the Giants season was. Is the Giants had not a very good record, and they still had 31 turnovers on defense, right? So the defense was getting the ball to the offense, but we just weren't cashing in. First downs here. Let's see now here. 3. Nope, going the wrong way here. Okay, let's see now. The Titans. So the Giants gave up 352 first downs, and the Titans gave up 334. So the Titans gave up less first downs than the Giants did. Let's see here. Passing yards. Let's see now here. The Titans gave up 3,866 passing yards, and the Giants gave up 3,898. So pretty much about the same there. The rushing. Okay, there's going to be a difference here. Rushing yards. The Titans. The Titans are number 13. 1,831. They only gave up 3.8 yards per carry. Okay. The Giants rushing yards were 29th. 2,251. We gave up 4.7 yards per carry. 4.7. What did I say? 3.9? 3.8. So the Giants gave up almost a yard more per carry than the Tennessee did. Right. So the Giants had some good players, right? We had some good players on defense, but I mean, if you look at what Tennessee did, right, with yards given up and all of that, right, they did better than the Giants did. So, once again, I'm not over the moon over this one. They've had success. I mean, certainly they had success. The past couple of seasons were not good with Tennessee, and it just kind of goes to show you, it's like, what have you done for me lately, right? With Vrabel and all of that, he had a couple of bad seasons. One of them because 2 seasons ago they were really banged up. They were a banged up team, and they had another bad season this year. And they need a quarterback, right? Put Patrick Mahomes on that team. It might be a different team, right? But he's had some success. So let's see what he can do. Right. The thing is coming in. I'm sure he's going to be a little bit different than what Wink winds up bringing to the table. So, I mean, that might be one of the sticking points as well, too, as you figure. You kind of look at the guys that we got on this team, they were kind of built for man-to-man, blitzing and stuff like that. What are you looking? What are you going to do? Can you work with this team? Can you work? Do we have to totally gut the whole team? Are you a 4-3? Gonna be 3-4? How are you going to run the defense? So once again, I mean, certainly not a horrible pick, but once again, I'm not over the moon over it. But it is what it is. We'll see. Hopefully, won't be no button of the heads, right? Because that's right. That's not very good. But he might wind up bringing in his old outside linebacker coach. We might be getting them, which would be, I'm sure, be better than the brothers Wilkins, who were not very good at all. All right, and then finally, what we got here is that, we bring in one coach and we lose another. I mean, it's like with the strength and conditioning coach or performance coach or whatever, right? I mean, special teams, defensive coordinator, outside linebacker coach, running back coach, tight end. I mean, we've had some turnover. We've had some turnover, and we were almost close to maybe losing Kafka too. So we have definitely had some turnover here. But Jim Harbaugh, in his ways, in his sneaky ways, Jim Harbaugh hiring assistant from the Giants staff. Harbaugh has a few additions to his staff in the works, including a few key roles from his Michigan staff, and now appears set to fill an offensive role from an NFL staff. Andy Bischoff is leaving the Giants staff to join Jim Harbaugh's staff with the Chargers. Now, Bischoff will be the team's tight ends coach / run game coordinator. So that's why it's a little bit of a promotion. It's not a lateral move. Before landing with the Giants in the 2023 season, Bischoff was the tight ends coach for the Texans for a season. He was also, I believe, with the Ravens as well, too. Oh, yes, yeah. He also spent a number of seasons on the staff with John Harbaugh after the Ravens, starting as an offensive quality control coach in 2015 before going to serve in roles as an offensive assistant and an assistant tight ends coach. So so we're gonna be on the lookout now for a tight ends coach. However, might the Giants, boom, pull the trigger? I don't quite know. It would be pretty cool, though. It would be pretty cool, but I don't quite see this happening. Angela Baker, right? The Giants, right? She was added to the West team staff for the Shrine Bowl. Former New York Giants quarterback Dave, also, this was pretty cool. Giants Davis Webb, former quarterback Davis Webb, will serve as the West team's offensive coordinator in the upcoming East-West Shrine Bowl game, which will be played on Thursday, February 1st, which already got played. Webb joins current Giants offensive coordinator Mike Kafka, who is the head coach on the West team staff, and Giants offensive assistant Angela Baker, who will coach the tight ends. Very interesting. Yeah, she wasn't coaching the Giants tight end, but she was at the at this game, okay, the Shrine Bowl game, and she was on the West team staff. All right, and she was coaching the tight ends. Very interesting. Let's see here. Baker, meanwhile, was hired as the Giants' offensive quality control coach in 2022 before being promoted to offensive assistant in 2023. Prior to her time in East Rutherford, Baker served as the kickers and punters special teams defensive quality control coach for the University of Redlands Bulldogs, a Division III school out of Southern California. Baker also has on-field experience, having played for the Pittsburgh Passion in the Women's Football Alliance, Full Contact. Okay. During that time, she was named a 7-time All-American. Holy crap. And the 2016 National Conference Offensive Player of the League. Very impressive. While with the Cleveland Browns as part of the Bill Walsh Diversity Coach Fellowship Program, Baker worked with the team's quarterbacks. She helped analyze film, study the playbooks, and identify quarterback weaknesses. Let's see. Angela Baker is in her first season as an offensive assistant after serving last year as the Giants' offensive quality control. In 2022, Baker was the Giants' inaugural recipient of the Rosie Brown Minority Coaching Fellowship and joined Laura Young as the first women to hold coaching positions in Giants history. Very impressive. Young is the team's director of coaching operations. Laura Young, I mean, Shane and Dave, they brought her over. they brought her over. Yeah, because she can do so much. She's a huge, huge help to those guys. Got Angela Baker. Yeah, this talks kind of about here. It's like, when did you first fall in love with football and how did you get your start in career? I started playing flag football when I was 5 years old in a co-ed league at my local boys and girls club. I always liked it, but I was involved in all types of sports growing up. I didn't transition to playing more competitive tackle football until I was in college. When I was a student at Slippery Rock University, I saw an ad for the Pittsburgh Passion, the women's semi-professional tackle football team, and thought it looked interesting. I tried out for the team and ended up playing for 8 years from 2012 to 2019. So, she's an offensive assistant. Would they bring in possibly, right, another tight ends coach? Possibly, and maybe have her be the tight ends assistant? Possibly. I mean, it would be pretty cool. I mean, it's just a matter of time. There's firsts are happening all the time, right? And it's somewhere along the line, it's going to happen. Somewhere along the line, the Giants are going to have a woman as a coach, whether it might be assistant coach, a coordinator, whatever, right? Might it be Angela Baker? Probably not right now, this year, probably not, but she seems like she's working her way up. And she was, taken to the Shrine Bowl, and she coached the tight ends in the Shrine Bowl. So good for her. So as I said, will the Giants promote her to the tight ends coach? Probably not this year. In the future, who knows? Be pretty cool. But the one thing is that, Andy Bishop, he's done. I mean, look what he did. He worked with Andrews. Andrews, that freaking, what a beast. What a freaking beast that guy is, the tight end for the Ravens. So, he worked with him. So Bishop is a very good, very, very good coach. But I would like to see Bellinger, maybe improve a little bit over last season. 2022, it would seem like he did very, very good. He was pretty much the main guy. Now, obviously, 2023, there was a new sheriff in town with Waller, right? Bellinger didn't get his eye socket broken like he did in 2022, right? But his hands are very good. I believe if you look at PFF, he only dropped one pass, according to PFF, right? He dropped one pass in 2022, and he dropped one pass in 2023. So he has very good hands. Is Bellinger somebody you can build a team with? Yep. Build a team around? No. Build a team with? Absolutely. But he did seem like he took a little step back this season. I don't know if it was because maybe they asked him to do some things differently than they did in 2022, because Waller was there, and now so Waller is the main guy, and then they asked Bellinger maybe to do some other things. I don't know. But Waller, we do know Waller won't be there forever. This is going to be coming up. I mean, it's not the beginning of the season. It's not for 7 months from now. So we're not talking for a long time. But this is going to be Bellinger's third season. But I mean, Waller, I'm sure he'll be back. This season. But will he be back for another? Who knows? But I'm sure he'll be back this season. But you like to draft your guys, develop them, and keep them, right? So, could the Giants add somebody in the draft? That would be cool, right? I mean, I don't know if we're going to have Cager. I don't know. But I mean, if you have Waller, if you get Bellinger, and there's supposed to be some nice tight ends as well, too, coming out in this draft. So the Giants can certainly, without question, add a little quality, right? You're not going to get probably, just from what I'm hearing, there's no Skittle man, right? There's no Kelsey. Nothing like that, except for unless you draft a guy from Georgia in the first round. Other than that, there's nobody super, super spectacular. But there's some good quality tight ends, absolutely, that you can build a team with, absolutely. But I did see where we at. Here we go. Bellinger. Just kind of goes to show you like what he did. Let's see here. There we are. Let's go his blocking. This is from PFF. Right. Now, this past season, his overall offensive grade was a 49.1. Not very good, especially for his second season. All right. He was a 60.2 in his first season. So you figure his second season, kind of in the same system, this, that, and the other thing, and all that stuff. He should be more familiar, more comfortable, blah, 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 all that stuff, everything. And he went, once again, this is just numbers. That's all they are, just from PFF. But just watching the games, he didn't seem as exceptional as he was as a rookie. You thought he would take a little step forward this season, build upon what he did in his rookie season. And to me, it just didn't seem like that happened this season. But if you look, I mean, his rookie season, PFF, that's all I'm going by, graded him out at a 60. This past season, PFF graded him out at a 49. I mean, that's not even a 50. I mean, that's pretty bad. His run blocking was a 56.9. All of his numbers came down. In 2022, his rookie season, his run blocking was a 63.3. So you would think that maybe, you could see, there was that picture in training camp, looked like his bicep was like 1,700 inches around. That one huge picture, it looked like, I don't know, it looked like somebody pumped it up with air. It was like about this big, his bicep. So you figure, he's got stronger, so he ought to do a little bit better, hopefully job blocking. His blocking, he was a 63. His run blocking in 2022, it went down to about a 57. Nothing huge, but it came down. His pass blocking, it was a 53 in 2022. His pass block in 2023 was a 45. So his offensive grade was a 49. His pass block was a 45. Against the Jets, his pass blocking grade was a 0. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Apparently, it looks like he gave up 3 sacks because they're trying to pass block. Looks like he was responsible for giving up 3 sacks. He gave up 1 hit. He gave up 6 hurries. He gave up total 10. He gave up 10 pressures. Now, maybe the thing is that, maybe some of these was also like, the pressures he gave up was when he was in, maybe Waller got sent out and he's stuck in there, maybe trying to pass block. So maybe that was part of the problem. Who knows? Maybe he was asked to do a little different things than he wasn't the year before because he was the sheriff. He was the main guy, right? In 2022. And now Waller was here, maybe not. Who knows? But you'd kind of hope that he would maybe take a little bit step forward, maybe improve on some of that stuff, but it didn't seem like that happened. So hopefully, whoever the new tight ends coach is, maybe they might promote from within. Who knows? But we'll keep an eye on that, obviously. So whoever they promote somebody from within, maybe it might be Angela Baker. Who knows? Or maybe they'll bring somebody in from outside. Who knows? But let's hope that maybe Bellinger, takes a little step forward in 2024 because it seems like he took a step back in 2023. So hopefully, whoever the new coach is that comes in, especially maybe if they draft somebody to get a couple nice young tight ends. That's why it's kind of an exciting time. We're bringing in a bunch of young guys, right? Draft another young tight end, somebody that you can build a team with. Very, very exciting time. So let's hope whoever the new tight ends coach is, they'll be able to help develop Bellinger a little bit better. But whoever that is, we'll have to keep an eye out on it. But I'll tell you what, if it's Angela Baker, that'd be pretty impressive. All right, guys, been 57 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. If anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay, just once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants.